Awesome. Sam Fish, the Fishbowl here at Living Dead Weekend 2024 with Daniel Beer. Thank you for taking the time to swim in the bowl with me.
You're welcome. Very clever. Swim in the bowl. I like that intro.
Thank you. First off, I just want to say that the raft segment is my absolute favorite in Creepshow 2.
How come?
It's interesting because my favorite segment in Creepshow 1 is the crate. And I think there's something about the raft and like how it was done and the concept and the terror of being stranded and not knowing what to do. You can't really sleep because this thing is this living like monster tar mass or whatever it is, is trying to get you. And the sense of like fear and terror, especially when your character, everyone's gone, tries to swim for the shore, and it's like he gets away, so you think, and then like it just the mass way, right. And then the last part of this last scene is you see the sign, that says like "Do not enter," or no swimming, right? No swimming, right.
I think Sam, what Stephen King did brilliantly, and Michael Gornick, the director, is for those of us. I'm from the Northeast. I take it you're from Pittsburgh.
Yes, I'm local.
And I think for everyone who didn't grow up along the beach, we all have the same experience of being on a lake or a big pond and swimming out. There's rafts and there's things and swimming out there.
Right.
And you don't have the ocean where it's some shark. So what can you come up with that's terrifying?
Right.
So everybody has that experience, and fans have written to me, and they've expressed it. That's exactly what that touches on, For all those people that were landlocked.
Exactly.
Water, right?
Exactly. And in Pittsburgh, obviously, you're surrounded by rivers and, lakes and stuff like that. So, it really is prominent in this area especially. And, the other stories were great, but, the raft, I think, was like I think it was the scariest segment in Creepshow 2. And I don't know, like the story itself just stood out to me. And I actually went to school for screenwriting here in Pittsburgh at Point Park. And I own George Romero's desk.
That's a big deal. Sam, is your podcast? Do you also do you get comments? People comment on this podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's run a little survey. Which segment, which story in Creepshow 2 is the best? So write your comments.
Yes.
Let's see what percentage of. Let's see which one has the highest percent. Which one's the best? And don't think because I'm on your podcast from the Raft that you have to write your comment.
Right.
So just the audience listening right now, you have to be truthful.
I'll tell you something very interesting. When I did my second interview with Michael Gornick, and we did that remote, and we talked for about 45 minutes. When I posted that interview, the picture that I posted was from your segment. And I posted other, scenes from the film on Instagram, and the one that got the most likes was the raft.
Now, I think you're going to maybe get some pushback from people that are writing comments going, no way, man, no way.
Right. To each his own, obviously.
But I'll let you know a secret. I think that the raft gets the most votes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Any stories while filming?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Are you familiar with the Arrow re-release, Arrow video?
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
So you saw my interview on that.
Yes.
And everything. So, any specific thing or anything like that you were curious about, that you saw, that you always wanted to ask? Anything specific?
What was like the prep for it?
mean just as the actor, my actor?
Yes, from an actor point of view.
I just remember not having any money, and I did How High right before this, and I think I did a guest star on a TV show, and I did some commercials, and this is the first time I went away for a location, and there really wasn't anything to prep. There was nothing to prep. I was only playing, a young scientist.
Right.
No, I just know when I did it, this is a nightmare and I can't get out of. And I had to, you notice I'm problem solving.
Right.
Nobody else knows what's going on, but I do.
Right.
And and one of my intents as an actor was, I can't get my friends panic. I can't panic.
Right.
And does that come through when you watch it?
Oh yeah, definitely. You're the one that basically like almost has control, or the most control.
I see what's about.
Yeah.
I see where it's
Right.
going to be severe.
Right.
And I don't know. And I'm trying to figure, okay, how do I get out? And I can't panic everybody.
Right.
They panic.
Exactly. And the scene where the last girl, you fell asleep and you wake up and
That's a controversial scene.
Right.
The sex scene is a controversial scene.
Right.
And I kind of discussed an interview and two things on that. Like at that time period in movies, there had to be sex scenes. If you see, there's a lot of movies.
Oh yeah, the 80s were.
And even the 70s.
Yeah, even the 70s.
90s, and
Yeah.
2000s.
Yeah.
And they started to go away from that, and that was foreign distribution needed that.
Interesting.
Foreign market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done other love scenes in films, and literally they'd be like, you have to have a love scene or some kind of scene.
Right.
And they're just uncomfortable and by the book. There's nothing sexual about those scenes.
Right.
At all. Like I remember doing that scene, Michael's like, okay, kiss here, lift here, turn here. And then the other thing is, if that scene wasn't in the movie, the ending wouldn't work as well with me dying.
Right.
It's kind of like, I got what was coming to me. And my character was kind of like, not really the good guy or something like that. It's very duplicitous.
Well, it's kind of like.
Am I wrong about that? In the ending? That it kind of makes it?
I think you are right about that, because it's kind of like the roles of like slasher films of the 80s. If you have sex, if you drink, if you do drugs, you die.
Right, and this was obviously it's can be considered sexual assault if you want
Right.
to go that extreme.
Right.
Tough vanity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although I do when she wakes up, I stop.
Right.
And it's kind
Right.
of something that teenage boys, you know what I mean?
Right. But there was even that
He did a ton of comedies, like isn't
Right.
Porky's in all those films?
Porky's, exactly. And even the remake of the Blob, the 80s Blob, there's a character where in today's standards it would be basically looked at as like date rape.
Right.
And he dies.
Right, and what they call the time period trying to cop a feel.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
saying that's
No, not
I'm just saying, like,
right.
you're talking about
Right.
contextually and stuff like that.
Yes, exactly. I mean, listen, there were different time periods. Different things were accepted and different things were.
And also, you can make a movie about it now, and you're trying to show that
Right.
that exists, type of thing.
Right, exactly.
But I still think the ending works better because of that.
I would agree with that, and
I mean, think about it. If I was just, a
Right.
innocent guy and then getting killed, people
Right.
would walk away and go like, "Oh shit, we could have got killed." Now they're kind of walking away like, he got it coming to him.
yeah,
Because one of the themes is kind of about hubris.
right, and then exactly, and one of the points of that I've noticed with both Creepshow 1 and Creepshow 2 is that the point of the stories is that no one is innocent and everyone kind of has like a dark side, and they all kind of
Well, don't most human beings have that?
That's it's human nature, and when you tap into that, it's like they all end on kind of like a bad note. It's a just note, but also like a bad note. Like
I think they do it in other movies too.
they
Like
do,
action movies
they
as
do,
well as
yeah,
fiction movies.
yeah, exactly,
Like
exactly,
human
and
nature and storytelling
right, right.
hasn't changed.
And one of my favorite things about Creepshow 1 and Creepshow 2 is the fact that, like, you know, they end on a bad note. Yes, Point Break.
We can talk about that.
Yeah. Let's. We could switching from Creepshow 2 to Point Blank. Point Break. They've actually just been playing that on. I think it's Showtime.
Yeah, you can tell if you want to tell your listeners.
Yes, Showtime.
No, that you can tell them that why you bring that up.
Right. Daniel Beer is in Point Break, and that is the first one, right?
Good one.
The good one, yes, the Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze classic. What was it like working on that film? I mean, I've just been rewatching it, and I'm like blown away by the whole time. I mean,
It's the first extreme sports
right,
film.
right,
I think it's like on a list. It's one of the top action films,
yeah,
and it's one of Catherine Bigelow's
right.
great films. See, that was cool because I got to learn a little bit about FBI stuff. That's what I'm saying, like preparing and stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
how to do stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fun. But that was. It was fun. Like, Keanu's a sweetheart. It was fun to get to know him. And again, Sam, when you make a film or you do something, you really have no idea what your afterlife is going to be.
Right.
And it's wonderful that you like both those movies, that your audience likes, it's kind of a genre for horror. And the Creepshow 2 stands the test of time. I was talking to Greg DiPietro and everybody involved to cheer about it. And isn't it just so cool that it stands the test? There's a lot of them.
Right. There's a lot of. I'm a big 80s horror movie aficionado, and there's so much from that era that. Yes, one of the heydays, the best time for practical effects, and some of the most innovative stuff.
Yeah, the effects kind of really. Some people like those effects more than CGI.
That's me. I'm a fan of practical effects, models. Actually seeing shit get blown up.
Yeah.
But let me know if you have to stop at any time.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Do you have more questions?
Sure. Point Break is it's such a flawless film. There's so many different parts. It's one of the inspirations for me. As a screenwriter who went to school for screenwriting, I like to write crossing genres, mixing horror and action and crime, all in one thing. And Point Break is just it's an awesome film.
Yeah.
Do you have any other stories from that film or?
The scene. It's in the TV version. Some versions it's not in there, but there's a scene where my middle finger comes up.
Right.
At a stakeout.
Yes.
So, and I've done a little research about that. They said it was done in Wayne's World, but Wayne's World was after.
Right.
So I'm going to take credit until somebody proves me wrong. I was the first person ever to do that on film. And somebody told me, I didn't see the movie, it was a Chris Pratt movie that came out years ago, some superhero movie or whatever, that he did that in that film too.
Interesting.
And that I've had people, somebody will do it, they're a fan of the movie, and I'm like, why are they doing that to me? And then they'll go, oh my God, dude, we saw that in Point Break, and we started to do it, to each other and stuff. And that comes from, so here's a little inside us, I think publicly, I think I've spoken about this before. So we used to do that to each other in high school.
Okay.
So in that stakeout scene, I think it's when Keanu and they walk away. So I did that, and Catherine Bigelow came up and said, Daniel, what are you doing with your hands? I said, oh, it's something we did in school, and this, I kind of explained it to her. And what it's called taking away. A director may take something away from you.
Right.
And I said, oh, she's going to take it away, which is fine if she didn't.
Right.
And so she said, Daniel, what are you doing? And I explained it to her. And she really paused and was thinking about it. And then she just said, oh, okay, leave it in.
Awesome.
And it's become
Right.
become a classic trick.
Right.
And it's popped up in other places. Someone said, oh, you took that from Waynesville. And I was like, well, Waynesville came out after the concert.
Right. Yeah.
If somebody can find it before I did it in point blank, be my guest. But we all did that to each other.
Awesome. That's a great story.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a very good one. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think that I'm out of questions for right now. I think thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.
Daniel Beer, everyone. Awesome.